Today is the 27th of February, 2025, and this video is going to be about how I plan on beating the algorithm. If you're anything like me, you might be a creative person who's wanted to make things but has felt beholden to the algorithm and likes and shares and all that stuff. That validation is important, but it's driven me crazy for a little bit. And 2025, kind of the end of 2024, was the year that I decided that I wasn't going to let that happen anymore. 2025 is the year I'm fully committing to it. So I've got a few points, things I've written down here that I'm going to talk to you about. Maybe these things can be helpful for you, but really it's for me to be accountable to myself on what I plan on doing this year. I'm going to try and do this in one take, uninterrupted. If I have to cut, it's because of noise or something. I don't know. I'm trying to do this very simply. The first way that I'm going to try how to beat the algorithm is I'm going to tell stories. At the start of last year, around about this time, maybe January last year, I dyed a jacket. Yes, I put a jacket in a washing machine with black dye, and that whole thing, that whole moment, I posted it on my story on Instagram. More people watched that than anything I've ever made before, creatively at least, and shared on my socials. And for a long time, I was like, cool, nobody cares about what I have to say or make. They just want to know about the jacket. But it kind of unlocked something in my brain. It made me realize that people just want stories. And what is a story? A story is something with a beginning, a middle, and an end. After like a week of being depressed about the fact that nobody seemed to care about anything unless I was dyeing a jacket, it dropped in my head that like people want stories with a beginning, a middle, and an end, something to come back to, something that they're curious about how it turns out. And I realized that when I was posting on my stories or when I was posting on socials, I wasn't telling a story, I was just giving people an update. And an update is very different from a story. An update is essentially just, here's something cool that happened to me, here's something cool that I did. And I don't know about you, I'm kind of sick of that. I get it, I want my friends to do well and the people that I follow to do well, but Instagram has become, so much of social media, not just Instagram, has become a scrolling of I did this, I did this, I did this. I remember when Snapchat first came out with the concept of stories, which Instagram later took. What was really exciting about it was that people were telling stories. It was a moment by moment update of something that was happening to them. It had a beginning because they were going to do something, it had a middle, they were doing it, and it had an end, how it turned out. And I remember being like, this is amazing, this is the future. Fast forward, I don't want to say how many years because I'll be revealing how old I am. That information is not hard to get access to, but I'm older than I would have ever thought I would be at this point. I don't know, since the pandemic, I lost like 2 years and I still feel like I'm too, anyway, doesn't matter. I remember feeling like that was the future of storytelling. And then it just became about updates. And I don't know, I think people are sick of it. So the first thing that I'm going to do to try and beat the algorithm is tell stories, because if there was one thing that experience with that jacket taught me, is that people wanted to find out how things turned out. So I'm going to try and put that into the stuff that I make. Second of all, I'm going to create a direct line. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do this, but I feel like I need to have some direct means of communication with the people who are interested in what I do that isn't basically beholden to the algorithm. If I make an announcement and I post it on any platform, the algorithm decides whether people get to see that or not me. That's not good enough. I think that needs to change. Maybe I'll do a newsletter, maybe I'll do a Patreon, maybe I'll use one of those like private channels that you can do on all these platforms. I don't know, but I know that I need to get something that allows me to speak directly to the people who have expressed interest in me and the things that I'm making. That's number two. That point was made a lot more efficiently than the first point. Maybe that will end up being a fourth point. The third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to stop manipulating and editing things to present myself in a way that maybe I feel will be better for other people. And I'm just going to put myself out there. That's why I'm trying to do this video in one take. That's why I'm just sitting here in my studio and talking directly at camera, because I feel like people are kind of ready for it. Maybe not even ready for it, but hungry for it. Social media, online content, all of it is so preconceived and prepared and manipulated to present a version of yourself that isn't necessarily authentic. And I don't know, I feel like wherever I've benefited from being authentic, I don't know, I'm not saying that right. I think it's more people seem to resonate with the stuff that I make if it comes from an authentic place. So I'm just going to try and do more of that. The fourth thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to be more efficient and succinct in how I speak. So that's the end of the video. If you like this, if you have liked this, check out some of the stuff that I've made. I'm making a direct appeal to you, the person who's got to the end of this video and didn't click away. Maybe we have something in common. Maybe we have something that we're both interested in. I like photography, I like filmmaking, I like creativity, and I like talking about creativity. If you're interested in those things, get involved, find me on a platform, I don't know, show me some love, follow, just pay attention, but come with me on this journey throughout the rest of this year. And if you can, help hold me accountable. But yeah, I don't know how to end this, but I'm being authentic. So thanks. Bye-bye.